What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and look who's back in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Joey Badass is here.
Yeah.
I always feel like you like my little brother from Brooklyn.
That's a fact.
From Flatbush
What up,
also, and
sis?
Bed-Stuy.
Absolutely.
You got the new album out, Lonely at the Top. Even you talking about being on the B41 bus. I used to take that bus all the time to go to Kings Plaza.
Yep, right on Flatbush. Facts.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very nostalgic to me, like, to hear you all the time, but to see the success that you had, I'm always, super happy about it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
From the beginning. And before we even started this interview, we were having a conversation just about, like, business and entrepreneurship. And my favorite song on the album... what do you think my favorite song on the album is, if you had to guess? I want to see if you know me.
Or...
See, why would you think that? You think because I'm a woman?
I think it's a really good song.
It is a good song, but that's funny that you would say that.
Yeah.
My favorite song is actually Swank White.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't have guessed that.
You and West Side Gun, I think, sound amazing together.
Facts.
But one line that stuck out is you talking about meetings, Morgan Stanley, right? And meetings at Morgan Stanley treat me like I'm close family. Meetings at Bryant Park. And so I just want to talk to you about that, because it really made me visualize, like, having these meetings and learning about investing and realizing, like, the things that you need to do for the future, because financial literacy is something I'm really big on right now, but I just want to understand from you, like, what that line was about.
Yeah, I'm on a super, like, investing kick right now. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think I've ever been so, like, adamant about investing in my life. Like, I've always kind of been aware of it and, wanting to make the right moves. But I think this is, like, the most proactive I've been. Like, at the top of the year, I kind of went down this journey, and I'm not even sure what really inspired it, but I literally can't remember, why, but I just found myself on YouTube, kind of just going down the rabbit hole of just a bunch of videos and following, people like Earn Your Leisure, Chris Sane, Aristotle Investments, and, just kind of watching and kind of soaking up the game of, like, investing, trading options and stuff like that, because I've been with Morgan Stanley for a long time, you know what I mean? I've had a portfolio with them for a long time, and, I have my reps there who's, like, always kind of just welcomed me and, like, looked out for me, showing me, like, immense love and stuff like that, putting me on game and things like that. But I think it was always a matter of, like, how much I was actually ready to, like, immerse myself into it. And this year definitely kind of did that for me. So it's like, right now I'm screaming from the mountaintops to, like, everybody. I'm like, yo, listen, like, we have to invest. Like, my mindset now is like, yo, I want to be able to have, like, of course 529B's accounts for my kids and stuff like that, but I want to be able to set them up so nicely in ways that, like, our parents weren't able to or didn't think about in the past, but just setting up those plays for the generational wealth aspect of it, and just being real proactive on, like, having that money make money.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. Money sitting in the bank is not working. It's
not
sitting.
Yeah, exactly.
And so those active investments, but it's also kind of scary for us sometimes. And I always talk about that because you think about, like, I wasn't raised on investing in the stock market, or my parents having those types of discussions with me, or we just had a whole thing about investing in real estate, beforehand. And so those weren't things that we learned, but now it's like, and what I love about this album, Lonely at the Top, is that it is where you are right now. It's kind of like just the way that you're rapping. It is very reflective on, like, space. You still tuck your ish.
Absolutely.
But it's also kind of aspirational for people to listen to it, because we think about, young Joey Badass, 16, 17 years old, and what you were on then and looking at what you're on now. I think it's very, like, appropriate, because it is really just, like, all the things that you've learned.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this project is really, like, just a current snapshot of where I'm at, like, mindset, headspace, emotionally even. I feel like there's some points there. And it's just it's really a snapshot of my current reality. And I really didn't want to overthink this album at all. Like, I think this is probably the easiest body of work I've made. And what I mean by that is I didn't give it no, like, extra thought, really. Like,
you
I
said it took you
just,
6 months to
it
put
took me
this
about
project
6 months.
together.
Yeah. Like I've never worked on a project so quick and put it out.
Wow. For some people, 6 months is a long time.
Yeah, nah, for me it's like standard
we gotta
time.
Wait years for you.
Right. You know, standard time for me is like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to work on something, and you know, I really take my time because I am somebody who is about quality over quantity. But I think, you know, this time I kind of wanted to do a little something different. I wanted to be a little bit more free in my artistic expression and not feel like I had to you know, have this wow concept. You know what I mean? I just really wanted to find an outlet to put out music that reflects where I'm at now, because I feel like a lot of the time what happens, and even what takes me so long to put out music sometimes, is that like I hold on to it for so long, and by the time a year goes by, 2 years go by, I'm like, you know what? Like I don't want to put this song out anymore.
It's not where I'm at.
It's not where I'm.
Not
you know what I
timely
mean?
for
So
me.
I feel like this is probably like the most aligned body of work that I've put out with just like where I am like today.
Like
you know
Ready
what I'm
to
saying?
Love, since you brought it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, we're going to flash back to a couple of things.
Absolutely.
Look at Joey now.
Yeah.
First of all, last time you were here, you definitely lied, okay?
What did I say?
Show Me video was out, and I was like trying to be like, oh, y'all did this video, and people thought you guys were dating. You were like, yeah, no, it was just a rollout.
Well, it wasn't a lie. It was just like, you know, it was very beginning stages.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we weren't,
because it was
like,
too much chemistry. I'm sorry. I don't care how much acting you do.
Absolute. Yeah. I can't argue with that.
It was a lot. I was like, even it was a little mini movie. Y'all was so cute in there together. But it was, and then after that, y'all was about. I said, I know Joey didn't sit up here and lie and tell us that.
Nah,
but I understand. You got to protect your relationship.
Gotta protect it, you know, but also you don't want to mess things up when it's like in those beginning stages. You know what I mean? Like nothing was like really solidified yet, you know. We was still vibing, you know what I mean? So.
And it's so not you too. I feel like you are very private about
your
super.
personal.
I remember when you had your first child, you had your daughter, and we didn't know till you popped out like my first Father's Day. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I'm very much that way, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm very much, you know what I show you type of thing. You know, I've never been super forward facing with my personal life, family matters and stuff like that. I just think that as the person who's on like the public stage, is a lot that I endure that I know is not necessarily for everybody, or I want to protect people from the people that I love. You know what I'm saying? Like from ridicule, criticism, this, that, the third. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm usually just so private about it.
You know, you've been famous since you were a kid, really. You don't even kind of know what life is like not being in the spotlight somewhat.
I know, it's tripped out. It's trippy. It's trippy.
Right?
I think about it sometimes. Yeah, it's trippy. Like, I don't know. My whole adult experience is kind of being exposed. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the spotlight. Yeah.
And it's a way to protect that, because sometimes people who are like child celebrities, you know, it's a lot to take on.
No, for sure. You know, I think about that a lot now, more than ever. I'm like, damn, like, word. You know, I just kind of go off in my head sometimes.
Now, the other thing that you lied about was this whole semen retention thing.
Oh God, I lied. I didn't lie about that either. I was practicing that.
Yeah.
I didn't lie about that either. You know, I was practicing.
You did it at the time.
You know what I'm saying? At the time, that's what I was practicing. You know,
but congratulations.
Sometimes I still like to practice it. You know what I mean? It's not the easiest thing in the world, but hey, listen. I think the point I was trying to make was the message that I was trying to spread. I was trying to spread the message. It's a positive effect and outcome that comes.
Listen, you had people doing whole posts about it, like,
oh yeah. Nah, I was on that.
But I do want to say, to this day, I do appreciate that, because I know when you said you were going to do lip service, like I told you, I was shocked. I was like, Joey Badass is going to do lip service.
Yeah.
But it was amazing for you to feel comfortable enough, you know, to be in the space and have those types of conversations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That sparked a lot.
It's funny because I see clips come up from that like every now and again. I'm like, damn, like, you know, life is crazy. Like, you forever just on this journey, because it's like, you know, I see that and I'm like, damn, like, I see where I was at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not that I lied. Like, that was my
That's
truth
where you
in
were
the
at that
moment. That's
time.
literally where I was at. You know what I mean? But, you know, my current reality looks a bit different.
I know when you were saying all that, I was like, wait till the right person comes along.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
shit.
that. I was like, well, this is about to be out the
And
window.
lo and behold, for sure.
And did. So Ready to Love. So is that about tell me where you were and what was going on in your head when you wrote that song?
I think I was speaking from the perspective of, like, you know, being done with, like, the game. You know what I'm saying? And, like, being done with, like, playing the game and just being ready and making space for something real. You know what I'm saying? And exploring, like, an actual relationship commitment. And, you know, I really love that song, too, because it's a bridge to, I feel like, where I'm going artistically a little bit. Yeah. I'm gonna just leave that off a little vague.
Oh, so you have another project on the way.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
We're going to see a little
So Lonely
more.
at the Top was more like, you know, like a compilation, like a mixtape. I made it in the spirit of a mixtape for real, but, you know, nowadays nobody calls things mixtape, so, you know. But yeah, there's a conceptual project that I've been working on for the last 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of took a break from that and did Lonely at the Top to, like, kind of feed this other artistic desire that I had. But yeah, there is another project that is coming out.
Conceptual, so like a movie kind of to go along with it. Is it more like a relationship type of love type of art? Because you said it's a bridge to this. So is it more like that?
We just got to see. I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to give away too much.
I mean, you put two actors and artists together, you never know what could happen.
You never know. For sure. Yeah.
I thought that Dark Aura was a great way to start the album too.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I feel like the way the whole album even starts, where it's just like visually and just listening to that, it feels like it's reminiscent of stuff I feel like you've done in the past, but it's so hip hop.
Absolute.
You know, so one thing that you say on there, every loss is a lesson. That's the secret of success.
Facts.
And I literally said earlier today, every loss is a lesson. I was talking to Carlos King, and he was just talking about, like, business things that he's done and mistakes that he's made. And I was like, well, you know, Joey Badass, he'll tell you every loss is a lesson.
Right.
And so we've had a lot of losses and learned a lot of lessons. So can you tell us, like, some things that have happened to you that you had to say, okay, that was a loss, but there was a good lesson in it?
I'll say, like, money moves, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you making certain money plays and folding on the bag. And it's like, oh, snap, like, I can actually learn from this. You know what I mean? You use this as a lesson so I can make a better move moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's just a loose example. I'm trying to think of, like...
That's so true. Whenever I lose some money, I'm like, okay, it's like paying for education.
Exactly.
We pay to go to school.
Exactly.
So sometimes, you know, that payment is going to come not from school, but from that's the school of hard
knocks. It's almost like an investment. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like investment. And it's like, I think that no matter what you do in life, if you're going to do it great, there has to be some type of failure or, like, loss, because it's like, that's how you learn how to do it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think taking a risk always comes with a potential something could go wrong.
Absolutely.
And sometimes with that loss, it's not just a lesson, but something different happens. It's not the way you wanted it to.
For sure. You know what I mean? But I think also it's almost like gathering data, you know, for yourself on your own personal journey. You know what I mean? Like, you would have never been able to get that information if you didn't take said risk or made said mistake. You know what I mean?
That's why sometimes you can even tell people not to do this and not to do that, but you got to let people make their own mistakes too.
Yeah, you know what? Like, people always going to tell you what they think. Like, people always going to tell you what you can't do, but they're never going to tell you what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So I be taking heed to that more and more nowadays. It's like, why are people trying to tell me so hard, like, what I can't do? Like, I could do whatever I want.
You've been making some great moves. Obviously, seeing you on Raising Kanan is amazing to watch. And I told you, I knew Unique wasn't dead. Like, when I said we didn't see his body, it didn't get recovered. And fortunately, you were not from the end of the season. I feel like there should be a Unique prequel. Because I would be curious to see, like, how did Unique become the person
that he is?
That he is.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. shit, you know what I mean? We might have to
because
call up.
he's a beloved character on the show.
We might have to call up Sasha Penn. You know? Yeah.
And even seeing like Rock and how she takes to him, I can't believe it. Like, you know what I mean? She feels like she would be too savvy to get down like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would actually love to see that, including me.
Yeah,
you know?
You're like, hello, new role.
Yeah.
Now, so this whole process of doing this, Superfly, that's another song that's a standout. And there's a couple of songs before the album came out that I've been hearing on the streaming services. Superfly was one of them, right?
Oh no, Superfly came out with the project.
It can't, okay, because I was listeling to the radio and I'm like, oh, this sounds like Joey Badass, and it was. So maybe it was the day of that I started hearing it.
Maybe.
It feels a little super thuggish, right?
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
where Superfly comes from?
It was definitely a nod to that. It was definitely a nod to that. Because when I heard the beat, like, you know, my boy Kirk made the beat, and I'm just like, bro, like, this feels like so many things. Of like, you know, from
like
my childhood. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first thing I thought was Super Thug, but then I'm like, yo, this also give me like Holla Back, but then the drums also give me Just Give It To Me. I'm like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those beats that like, it just grabs you, it like pulls you in. And I feel like I haven't done that enough, I should say. You know what I mean? Those more experimental, but the thing with Superfly though is like, even though like, you know, the beat is more experimental, I feel like I'm so at home on there as well. So yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That's a fun song.
Yeah.
You know, and even
definitely had a lot of fun making that. For sure.
You did?
Yeah.
Where did you do that song at?
I did it out here.
Yeah.
I recorded in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you always record in New York?
I've never left this place. I've never left.
You not Hollywood or no?
Like 30 summers here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm damn near ready for a change.
Are you really?
Yeah.
But you want to raise your kids in New York, right?
I do, and it's like, you know, that's the main reason why I really haven't left, because I have such a great support system here. You know what I mean? Like, my family is my support system, and you know, they're the village that helps me raise my kids too. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm like, damn, what would going somewhere else look like? You know, I always want to be present in my kids' lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the number one thing on my mind. But I'm at the point too where I feel like I just need to be exposed to something different.
I feel you. I've lived in New York like my whole life too.
Yeah.
Between New York and New Jersey.
Like, I talk to people all the time who's like, you know, made those big jumps. Like, they moved here, they moved there, and like they talk about how scary it was, but then they figured it out. It's like, I want to feel that.
I agree
I want to be scared. You know what I mean? I want to be on my toes.
You're international, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
so you've traveled so many places. You know, you talk about it on the album too, all the different places that you've been able to travel to. But living somewhere is such a different experience, and taking that risk and feeling like culturally immersed somewhere else that's outside of here. But New York, I always feel so happy to come home, no matter where I'm going.
Facts.
Even when I'm on vacation, I'm like, I can't wait to get home.
And I'll tell you what, the main thing is food. It's food. It's just like, I know how to eat here. I know where to get it. You know what I'm saying? What I need. Everywhere else is just underwhelming.
You could always cook.
Yeah, I don't cook.
Listen, you have kids. You got to learn how to cook something.
Yeah. I mean,
your dad want to see. Listen, they want to see daddy cook something. I remember growing up.
I think I'm gonna get really into it, because I have like I could tend to have like an addictive, like, I get really into things
when you decide you want to do something.
When I decide I want to do it, you know what I mean? Like, right now I'm off the investing thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm really into. But like, if I put my mind into cooking, I'm gonna be like, yo,
you're gonna be a master chef.
I'm having a
dinner,
sample at the crib. Yeah.
I could see that would be dope.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I do think having kids, I remember it was a couple of times my mom wasn't around and my dad had to cook for us, and it was so awful. And I remember being young and we had to, like, you know how you hide the food in the napkin and then like stash it somewhere until later.
Oh yeah.
And like months later, my dad found the food.
Damn.
In the napkin. Yeah, because we used to do that. Like, if my dad had to, it was awful. I think you should learn how to cook for the kids.
Yeah. Maybe I should. You know, right now I have a chef, so that allows me to kind of just be like, yeah, I don't cook and get away.
And
with
also romantically, there's nothing nicer than seeing your man cook for you.
Yeah, I hear that.
So, you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk
I
about.
could arrange a nice restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But it's different. It's like the thought
know.
that goes into. Look, Dan is laughing
The
because he cooks all
time.
the time at home.
You look like you cook though.
He does.
I could tell you cook.
He got all kind of pictures of himself cooking and doing all of those things. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Now
I gotta get into it.
Now some current Joey Badass things. You know, I think obviously you're going on tour with Ab-Soul and Rhapsody.
Yo,
so that's going to be a big
tour
deal.
Coming to a city near you. Tickets on sale now at joeybadass.com.
And what a great lineup for you. And you and Ab-Soul have such a history too.
Oh yeah, that's my brother.
I mean, you guys have been rocking for over 10 years.
That's my soul brother right there for sure, man. Rest in peace, Doe Burger. You know, yeah, me and Soul, I met Soul for the first time in like 2012, but we didn't connect for real until like, well, yeah, we connected in 2012 too because we made the first song, our first collab, Into the Void. And then, you know, it was pretty much locked in from there. But then we did the first tour in 2014. And that's when we like really just locked the Brotherhood.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, y'all got arrested together.
Yeah.
And all kind of things.
Yeah, for
nothing
sure.
Seals a Brotherhood like that.
Yeah, right. Nah, that's a fact. That's
Doing
a fact.
nothing wrong.
Listen,
minding
anybody
your
I ever
business.
went on tour with, you know, is like, you know, pretty much like tour forms brotherhoods for sure. You know what I'm saying? You like a month, close quarters with people and all that. Like you living with people for a month. You know what I'm saying? And they say that I'm a firm believer that you don't really know people until like you live with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you make money with them, or you was broke with them, or something like that. You know what I mean? Do some type of hustling. So. Yeah, tour definitely forms those bonds. But shout out to Ab-Soul, man.
And you were a teenager still. You got to think about that when you guys were on tour together.
Yeah, I was a kid for sure. Sure.
And that's
Young
why it's
whippersnapper.
And like I know, obviously, this whole situation that happened, the rule is back and all of that, and that's been talked about, but it was misinterpreted as. Listen, I think that going back and forth on records is always great, right? That's part of the spirit of hip hop too, and the competition and all of that. But some people were taking it like very seriously.
Because you know what? People always want to see blood in the arena. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people could treat this rap thing like a gladiator sport. And you know, sometimes it calls for that. You know what I mean? But so I think a lot of that came from, you know, people on the internet egging it on and like, you know, creating certain narratives and not knowing the history, not knowing the relationships, the connections and stuff like that, and just, you know, misinterpretations and stuff like that. Like we live in a new time and like the information is easily misconstrued and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. A lot of these people that are voices now, like we're literal kids 10 years ago. And not the type of kid that I was, you know what I mean? Like I was like 18, like they were like 7.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're coming along now like, oh, he meant this, he meant that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that's what had it going in a certain way. But I'm grateful that we were able to keep it sporty. And you know what I'm saying,
some great music came out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And some great back
and
forth.
For sure. It's entertainment at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I was able to be a part of that, put on the show, and then also like show people that like, hey, we could have friendly fades, but like real competition though. You know what I'm saying? Like even though it was friendly, like it wasn't going anywhere outside the tracks. You could tell dudes was really going at it. You know what I'm saying? Like
they was in the studio like okay.
You could tell maybe it was like one line away from really going somewhere. You know what I mean? So I think
Did you ever have to edit yourself during that time where there's some things you were like, I don't want it to go too far?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'd say so. I'd say that if anything, like what the Rulers Back taught me is to like be hella intentional with them words. Because people's listening to everything. You know what I'm saying? And even though I may mean it some type of way, the perception could get spun in a certain type of way and people could take it. So, yeah, I would say that after that, like, yeah, for sure, I was definitely like, let me be very mindful of, you know what I'm saying, what I am saying. Like, even when I'm responding to angles being used against me, how I'm responding to it and, you know what I mean, countering and, you know, things like that for sure.
Yeah, because that's tough because you want to go hard, but you're also like certain things are off limits.
Well, I mean, for me, though, it's like that wasn't hard at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that
It was clever. A lot of clever wordplay is
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah. You know,
I think especially at Daylight on the Red Bull freestyle.
For sure. And I feel like, that's what it was for me. Like, I don't think there was never a moment where I felt like, yo, I gotta like rip these dudes' image apart, or like, you know what I'm saying, I gotta find some dirt on the, like, I never felt that for 1 second. You know what I mean?
It was just
like,
clever wordplay.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm a better rapper.
Responses off of what you said, just on wax. And you even said this is just gonna be, you know, on,
just showing like, like, you know, I'm ill like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm nice with the pen like that. Like, it was more about that to me. Like, it never was about like, yo, let me talk about your girlfriend. Let me talk about, you know, this,
then it
that,
gets
the
serious.
third. Yeah,
that's when
it
gets out of control.
Sure.
And I thought it was wrapped up nicely with that Red Bull freestyle. I think that was a great way. You, Big Sean, and Absol being like, you put me in a sticky predicament, but knowing that you guys are already friends, because I was thinking about that. Like, now everybody's coming, you know, forward, and some people are taking it too seriously.
Yeah, nah, for sure. But it's like, you know, if you really think about it, it's like everybody won in the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody did. You know what I mean? It's like everybody got something from it. You know what I mean? And we was able to give a moment to the culture of hip hop that we love so much. You know? So, yeah.
I think also one thing that you're intentional about is making sure that you are thinking about your image and the younger generation too. And I know you have the Impact Mentorship program that you've been doing. I remember when you launched that. Just making sure that you put together like just some of the youth with great mentors for them.
Yeah.
So tell me, how has that been for you? Have you ever had a mentor?
Yeah, I've had mentors. You know, I was blessed enough to kind of have mentors like that I just naturally met along the way. You know what I mean? Like, I never had to really go searching for them. Like, shout out to Sophia Train. I always say that, like, you know, she's one of my mentors. And, you know, but to just in general, I think it's very important that, like, when we reach certain points of success, especially in the community that we come from, it's like we got to make sure we sharing this information down, or we got to make sure that we, like, once we get through the door, how can we make the entryway bigger or wider so that more people could come through? You know what I mean? So that's just always been something that was extremely important to me. It's like I'm always trying to like look for ways to, you know, look out for the next generation or look out for other talent that's coming up and things like that, because I remember what it felt like coming up and, like, you know, wanting to have that type of helping hand, you know what I'm saying, and not always being able to have that type of access. But also I just think that it's important. It's like, if we're not passing or sharing this information, what are we doing this for? You know what I mean? It's like, I like to think about it more collectively than individually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say that it is a dance. It is a balance, because there's parts of me that is like, yo, sometimes I want to just kind of have fun. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking more towards messaging.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I want to, like, just kind of have fun and say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is just how I feel right now. Like, I'm talking my fly shit. Like, it ain't necessarily putting anybody on, but, like, this is also my truth. This is what resonates with me. But I'm always conscious of, like, okay, but you know what? I still do have to be mindful and to, you know, be mindful of the listener, be mindful of the kid who's listening to my words and looking at me and seeing my moves and might want to follow in my footsteps. Like, how can I still leave or be a good example for these people? Yeah.
Right. No, I just, even with the way that you came up, and you had your whole collective, you know, you had Pro Era, you had Beast Coast, all of that.
Yeah.
That was such a movement. I think about when I was coming up and how we had, you know, Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul and
all that.
And all of that. And I feel like, I don't know if that exists as much today.
Yeah, the group and the collective aspect is definitely not as prominent in the culture as I feel like it once was, but I feel like it's always a nostalgic thing that it brings, though.
Yeah,
you know
it is. It feels like it was such a great time. You know what I'm saying? Like a great time in your life. But I want to say, like, even from back then, you were always such a standout. And is there, because I know everybody's doing their own things as far as being an artist, being a producer, but was there ever like some type of balance that you had to do? Because sometimes it is hard when people are like coming to you for things, or people are like, you know, Joey Badass is the one. And that's not easy either, because you could feel like, okay, I am, you know, getting these opportunities and people are focused on me because you put out projects, you know, before everybody. And sometimes that's hard because you don't want other people to feel away.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like I dealt with that so much in my career, especially in the beginning. Like I didn't even realize that I was dealing with survivor's guilt so intensely. Like being the guy that, you know, the spotlight was on, but wanting to share my success with everyone else and wanting to bring everyone on the journey, you know what I mean? And like just not being like, because everybody else wasn't seeing the same success that I was seeing, like I couldn't be happy. I couldn't feel accomplished until like I felt like I shared it with everyone. And you know, that's part of what lonely at the top means to me. I mean, that is what lonely at the top means to me, right? It's like when you navigate on this path and you reach a certain level, it's like you will find that it's kind of lonely because nobody else is feeling or having the same experience as you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're the only one experiencing it. You know what I mean? And that feeling alone is like pretty isolating. It's like, damn, it's like my problems are not relatable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like, you know, my peers and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And sometimes you also have to like separate yourself if you still want to be cool with people. And I realized that too.
Oh yeah, you gotta create distance. You gotta create distance for sure. Yeah. So, you know, I had to do that a lot, you know. So but sometimes that distance will breed things too.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard balance of knowing, okay, I have to kind of like, if I'm around you too much or this is too much, it kind of holds back certain things, or it might make us clash more. But then I create this distance so that we could still be cool. But then you feel away because there's distance. Why we not, you know, together all the time like we used to be?
And in whatever ways you feel they're allowed to kind of thrive, because I'm not there to like nip it in the butt. So it's like you have more time to sit in this feeling or this emotion without confronting it. You know what I'm saying? And then now that becomes your mask or like your lens that you see me through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I've dealt with that.
And then even thinking at Lonely at the Top, it feels like the beginning of the album is quite different from the end.
Oh, yeah.
The last few songs.
That was done purposely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's discuss that. And it made me also think about, I remember when you did your therapy live, you know, on Noisy, something that we all had a chance to witness, and people were, you know, I thought it was really, really touching to be able to see that. I thought it was really beneficial for people to be able to see that, because imagine how many people were like,
I'm going to get into therapy. Yeah.
Like I need to talk to somebody about this, or hearing a therapist tell you something.
For sure.
And that really hits home for people.
Absolutely.
And so even thinking about, as this album is, you know, coming to the second half of it, it feels like it got a lot more, you know, self-reflective.
Introspective and reflective. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was done purposely. And that goes back to what I'm saying. It's like I'm always trying to find or restore or establish a balance. And I think that's what that was for me with this project, right? It's like the beginning half of it is like, okay, you know, welcome to my world. Here's what it looks like. But then the back half is like, okay, here's what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm feeling. This is what like is going on in like my head. You know what I'm saying? Not just my mindset, but this is what's like on my mind, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Like Speeding Through the Rain.
Exactly. Like Speeding Through the Rain is a deeply introspective song. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like 5%. Like I wish I could put the past in my GPS. You know what I mean? Like I wish I could go back, you know what I mean, to change things or to relive it again. You know what I'm saying? Or like, yo, 5% tense, I'm hiding behind my shame. You know what I mean? Like them type of things, you know what I'm saying? So just being extremely vulnerable with the pen and just like, you know, showing people that like, yeah, you know, on one side it is beautiful and on the other side it's still beautiful, but it's deeply human. You know what I mean? It's not just this guy on the stage or like this public figure, because that is something that I experience as well, right? Like I have certain experiences and I feel like people don't humanize me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm eating with my family and they like, yo, can I get a picture?
And if you say no, they're like, he's an ass.
Exactly, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm not even on Joey Badass time right now. Like, I'm on daddy time or big brother time or son time or grandson time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think it's important for me to always have those moments in my music of like just vulnerability and giving people a perspective to remember that like I'm incredibly human. Right. You know, like I make mistakes, like I'm not perfect. You know, there's days where I'm just like, fuck it. There's days where like I feel like I'm on top of the world. There's days where it's like crippling self-doubt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I think that that's all a part of the art, and I always want that to be reflected in my art.
You know, every time I see you, first, I'm always happy to see you every single time.
Likewise.
But I remember on social media, there was an event, and I talked about this up here in the sneaker store.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But then I was like, man, I shouldn't be
so happy about it.
I was like, get him, Joey. Was that hard for you when something like that happens? I mean, when because that went viral and everybody was like, damn. And then, you know, obviously, like, that's not how we're used to seeing you in real life, only on TV.
Right. Yeah, you know, what's funny about that is, you know, like what we're talking about is like kind of what that situation was. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, somebody who I was very close with in my past, and just like, I don't know, like having a whole perspective shift on me, and it came from distance. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you know, I had to create distance between myself and this person because things were just happening, and it's just like, you know what, like I gotta go this way, and I gotta do this to protect me. You know what I'm saying? And it just came to a moment where it's just like, because you know, I'm what you call like I'm pretty confrontational.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
what's your sign?
I'm Aquarius.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not avoidant. Like, you know, like attachment styles and stuff like that. Like I'm not avoidant. I'm more like anxious or secure. You know what I mean? So it's like if you say something to me, if you send me this is kind of what happened. Like a message was sent to me that like had funny energy, and it's just like, I know you in real life. So I'm not gonna like, we're not about to go back and forth here when it's like, I'm gonna see you. Like, hey Angela, like, what's up?
No, don't do it to me.
But you know, it was one of those situations where it was just like, yo, you know, I genuinely want to understand, like, yo, like what's up? Like, what's the issue with me? Like, you know, I came here so we could talk about it. Like,
so you
like
showed up.
Men. Yeah. But it, like, I swear I didn't show up on like no type of time where it's like, you know,
a real conversation.
Yeah, it was have a real conversation, and you know, it went out of hand based on how that person responded. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, yo, I really came to be like, because the thing is, I got genuine love for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna come see you about it. It's like, yo, what's up?
That type of passion does come from having general love for somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those are the people that know how to push your buttons too.
Oh yeah, for sure. 1000%. But yeah, that's me. It's like, you know, How
is being confrontational in a relationship? Are you the one that always wants to talk about things?
You see, that's one of them lip service questions.
No,
right
I'm just
there.
like, how is that? Because
absolutely.
Are you the person that's like, all right, we need to talk about this?
Well, not necessarily we need to talk, but yeah, I can be that. But also, you know what I am is like, if you want to talk about something, I'm like, all right, what's up? Like, I'm always ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm always ready to go. Like,
I'm never being like I was wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, accountability is my middle name. You know what I'm saying? I want to take account because for me, again, it's like every loss is a lesson, right? It's like the more I can see of how I'm being is like the more I can understand of how I could be better. You know what I mean? That's my thinking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always trying to understand. I love having conversations. Right. Because I feel like conversations bring us deeper and closer to each other.
Is this the most serious relationship you've ever been in?
Yeah, I'd say that. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I love this for you.
Yeah, you know, this relationship is reached levels that I've never reached before. So yeah.
Listen, this is so cute to see. Let me stop because you're grown now. You're 30 years old.
Yeah, everybody be like cute. I'll be like, cute. Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like cute? I look cute. No. Nah, I feel it though. I know where it's coming from. It's like it's a wholehearted place, you know what I mean? And I definitely do I do receive that. You know what I mean? Like
it
I
is.
do
I like
receive
it.
that. Yeah. I like that.
And seeing y'all like doing interviews together and
Salute.
seeing when she was pregnant, how amazing she looked, and seeing y'all after, it just seems very nice and genuine. And do you feel like y'all would do stuff together, like, you know, a movie, a project, anything?
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that for us. Like, you know, we've spoken about it and things like that, but I don't think the right opportunity necessarily presented itself yet, or maybe it's something that we would have to create.
Yeah, I think
you know
you guys
what I mean?
created.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that we talk about for sure.
Okay, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah.
I love to see it. Now, artists in residence, you also have been doing artists in residence, right? So tell me about that. So you're kind of like a professor.
Professor Badass.
Professor Badass.
Nah, I just really like to share my wealth of information with people who are willing to listen. That's it. You know what I mean? And I think that
Imagine being a student and Professor Badass is your teacher. That's amazing.
they love it. They love it. We have a lot of fun. You know what I mean? But it's more of like a building session. You know what I'm saying? And an exposure to the music industry, or my experience in the music industry and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, we did the residency at NYU, and that was incredible, man. Like, you know, just all the workshops we did and connecting with those. I mean, I hate to say kids because they're grown.
Right.
They're adults.
Young adults.
But yeah, the young adults, the younger adults, you know what I'm saying? So it was just incredible, man. And it's like I'm always grateful and I'm always energized and charged by how my experience can help others. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that brings a lot of joy and peace to my heart. Like, I feel really accomplished when I do things like that.
It's amazing because, you know, you've been doing this like 15 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you're only 30.
Only 30. Nah, it's wild. Honestly, it's the wildest thing. It's like, you know, my thinking now is like, yo, so this is a whole new decade ahead of me. It's like, yo, like, where you want to go with it now? You know what I mean? Because it's
That's
like,
what I was going to ask
sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's different directions I could go in. Of course, film and TV is like,
it's there already.
Broad. Yeah, it's already there. It's here. You know what I mean? But like, I think even stepping into that in a bigger and more immersed way, that's something that's definitely on the horizon. Like, there's a new role that I just landed that I can't talk about yet, but I'm very excited. I think it will be like
TV or movie?
It's a movie.
Okay.
So it's my first movie.
Wow.
It was like, well, it was my first like lead role in a movie.
Everything's happening. And it's crazy because you have to go on tour, so you always got to schedule things around the music too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now I got to schedule things around the shooting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you got to.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So
movies might be good though, because then the family could be around. Being on tour is different. Because it's like you got to move around so much. Sometimes filming a movie is like
you just in one spot.
Stable.
Yeah, you can have like a little bit more support and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like tour is hard, man. Like, tour is like shit. You get sick. You in a new city every day. The food is terrible.
You care a lot about food.
I care so much about food.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah, because I don't cook, I eat.
Do you feel like there's not a lot of pressure on you anymore? Because because you have established yourself so well when it comes to the music. And I know there was a period of time when fans expected a certain type of music from Joey Badass, but now you can break free from that. And I've seen a lot of positive responses to the album already. And then obviously the acting, you have that too, and you've been doing an amazing job on that. Do you feel like now you can kind of like not have to worry about expectations and feel a freedom from that?
I think that there's still pressure that I feel and that, like, you know, I'm facing. But I think what's happening, what's different, is that I'm more fearless with being like, fuck your expectations. I'm going to do this.
Right.
I'm more like trusting in self, like trusting in, because at the end of the day, this is my art, right? And it's like, I want to paint the picture that I want to paint. And if it's aligned with the picture you want me to paint, cool. It's a win-win. But I'm not going to stop what I want to do because you want me to do something different. You know what I mean? I'm more at the place where it's just like, yo, take me as I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to understand that Joey is going to do what Joey is going to do. And while you may think that there's something else Joey should be doing, or maybe you thought it should have been different, that's cool. And, you know, and I received that. But at the end of the day, this is my art. And I'm going to paint the pictures that I want to paint. You know what I'm saying? And because listen, like, the way I look at it is art is subjective. Music is subjective. So I really believe that no matter what you do, people are going to have something to say.
We're all going to have a different favorite song off the album. I could say I like this the best.
And that's one of the things about this project that I realized is like, yo, everybody said they got a different favorite song. And I love that because I think that, like, one of why I feel so accomplished about this album is because I wanted to showcase a lot of versatility. And I think that I'm seeing that result in real time where people's like, yo, I like 3 Feet Away. Yo, I like Speeding Through the Rain. Yo, I like Super Fleet. Yo, I like, you know what I mean? Like, all of these songs are different. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying different things on a year. There's notes of, you know, and then there's still songs that like speak more to OG Joey Badass, but then you also got shit where it's like, okay, like he hit a left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I didn't expect that.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So and for me, like, that brings me a lot of joy when people is like, yo, this Joey? Like on Underwater when I start singing, you know what I'm saying? And people was like, yo, that's this Joey? I didn't even know Bo could sing.
I was like,
who's the feature? Right, exactly. Like, that brings me so much joy. Like, I get joy as well when I see people like breaking down like an intricate bar, but I also do get joy when I see people reacting to my artistry in a way that they didn't expect.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. I kind of like thrive and feed off of doing the unexpected things. Like,
but I feel like you're at a point where you can do that because maybe earlier on when you're establishing yourself and people have like a certain, you know, this is what it is, and you were also thinking that sometimes you, like you said, you didn't want to overthink it.
Facts.
And sometimes you think so much about people, like, what do they expect from me?
Right.
What have I laid out as the foundation I got to be? But now I feel like it can blossom into whatever you want it to.
No, absolutely. And it's just like, you know, there's a way that the rap game has been like over the last 10 years, and you feel like you want to do what certain things to fit in that. But I'm just like, yo, listen, man, like, I just want to do me. Like, I want to do what makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily want to fit into a criteria, if you will. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm even grateful that, like, the whole back and forth happened.
Yeah.
Because I feel
people
like
got a chance to see things they did
Right.
not know.
Exactly. And which is, you know, was an eye opener for me too, because I'm like, oh yeah, like, there's every 5 years there's like a bunch of new hip hop fans who hasn't heard of you. If you was, and it's like, I took 5 years off between my second album and my third album and my third album. So there was a whole bunch of people that was like damn near getting introduced to me for the first time. So like, they weren't familiar with my previous work and my track record of being an incredible lyrical MC. So I was glad that I was able to display that this year, like, you know, with the back and forth. So people I didn't even know Joey had that. And I'm like, yeah.
I saw
like,
people saying that. I've heard people say that, like, yo, Joey killed it. Like, I can't believe it. I didn't know he knew how to do that.
And you know what? And that's where that's why I started to engage, because I realized that was the win for me.
Yeah.
I realized that, like, oh, people... oh, they got me fucked up out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, niggas don't know. Like, all right, let me show them. Like, you know what I mean? What this pen is capable of.
And that Red Bull cipher was phenomenal. You think there's a benefit to going last when it comes to... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But we planned it like that. Everybody was in agreement with me anchoring.
And being last.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day... Jizza, when I used to work with Wu-Tang, he used to hate going last because his verse would get cut off at the end. And he used to be, because, you know, sometimes those songs would be really long.
Really long.
So if you last a lot of times, or even like, sometimes they just cut you off, you know, when you're towards the end. But obviously it's different when you're doing
a cipher.
Something like that. And you came hard on there. It was like, you know. So everybody had a chance to hear.
Yeah.
First,
yeah.
okay.
So shout out to Absol, because he pretty much like
because I was like, did Absol go back and change his verse?
Nah. You see, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Like, so damn near orchestrated the whole play. You know what I mean? Like, I remember he called me, like, it was shit. I got the call like 10, 11 p.m. He like, yo, I got it. We gonna kind of throw, like, we gonna kind of battle each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love this. I love that. And then he had sent me like, you know, he rapped his verse for me, And then his verse is what inspired my verse.
Okay.
Because he mentioned Daylight and Ray Vaughn on his joint. So I was like, oh, and at that point I hadn't responded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I hadn't.
Man, you had some great one-liners in there, bro.
I didn't have no direct response to any of them. So I'm like, you know what? This is the perfect time to engage.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time to respond. Like he prompted that. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have gotten that performance. So I got to give
no fly
credit
zone.
to Ab. So yeah. Still gonna pack light.
You're gonna still pack light. And then here's the other line: they sending the troops at the general, but I'm the one who absolute.
Yeah, absolute.
That was amazing. How that was just great. When you write, is it just you by yourself, or is it like okay?
Yeah, it's just me.
Because sometimes there's other people in the room that's like, yo, say.
But
this.
you know what? I miss that though because back in the day, it was like, the whole collective. You know what I'm saying? We'd be in the room and we'd be all writing.
And people just throw a bar out like, yo, that sound dope here.
No, everybody would be writing their
like
own verses.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But just that energy alone is like, we all pushing each other's pen because we're like, damn, like, what's Steve's about to come with? Or what's CJ about to come with? What? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, let me make sure that my shit is, and I think that that's when I'm my best. When I feel the heat of somebody else's pen,
yeah,
I think that's when that's when I'm my best. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my life currently is just different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not in competition with anybody but myself. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. So it was good to feel that. You know what I mean? It was very nostalgic for me.
It felt good, especially because you got a lot of great response, So.
Absolute. You know what I mean? But just being under the pressure, like I realized it's something that's like good and healthy for me.
Are you writing for other people?
At the moment, no. But I do want to get back to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, you heard it, guys. So if anybody needs to diss somebody, need some bars, I got somebody.
Don't worry, I'll keep it on the low. You know what I'm saying? I keep it on the low. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, I ain't going to be on in the videos.
Doing interviews like, I wrote the...
Yeah. No. I'll keep it on the low.
Joey, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it. I'm actually glad you came after your album came out.
Me too. So we can talk about it.
It gave me a chance to really sit with it and listen to it, nonstop. So I appreciate it. You always my Brooklyn brother. So thank you so much for coming through.
Absolutely.
Lonely at the Top, guys.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. Lonely at the top.
It's way up at the top. We don't like it's okay to be lonely though. I'd rather be lonely at the top than, surrounded by people at the bottom.
That's true. Shit.
All right. It's way up.
Way up with Angela Yee.